Hello and welcome to Education Today. I'm John Zish from the Armstrong School District. Today we're going to look at the problem of school bullying and what school districts and parents are doing about this. To talk more about this topic, we're joined by Dr. Matthew Pock of the Armstrong School District. Welcome to Education Today.
Thanks for having me, John.
Yes. Well, would you please tell us briefly about yourself?
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you today to discuss bullying and the initiatives that we're doing in the Armstrong School District. Sure. My name is Matt Pock. I coordinate special education and psych services with Armstrong. And I am a father of two girls, a 3-year-old daughter and a 7-month-old daughter who were at home watching Daddy today.
That's good.
So, and my girls will attend the Armstrong School District.
Very nice. Well, why are school districts stepping up their anti-bullying efforts? How bad a problem is this?
Yeah. And I think any time that you have large numbers of kids in buildings, you're going to have issues and problems. In our district, we do address those issues heads first. But how we started through this initiative with leadership from our Safe Schools Committee, which is a representative group of administrators, teachers, and the state police. We know we needed to continue to address the safety concerns that happen in our buildings, and bullying is certainly one of those. Something that our school board has done is we've just adopted a board policy, but prior to showing you a little bit about that, some things that bullying causes for our kids are depression, anxiety and sleep disorders, weight loss. Kids have regression in their grades, and some kids even live in constant fear, as well as even contemplate suicide. But our school board is taking this very seriously in the district and has just adopted a policy April 23rd of '07 to address bullying and cyberbullying. And we'll put that up and show it for you. The board policy talks about maintaining an educational environment in which bullying and cyberbullying in any form are not tolerated. The policy outlines and defines bullying and cyberbullying in detail, and also gives specific responsibilities to students and teachers as reporters, as well as outlines guidelines and investigation procedures for our administrators in the buildings. Very
thorough.
Thank you.
Well, what are some common myths about bullying? Can you illuminate that for us?
Sure. There are quite a few common myths about bullying, and just to outline a few for you, bullying is just teasing. Bullying is not just teasing. It causes violence, intimidation, and other tactics. Bullying always hurts kids. And it's a long-term problem for kids. It's not just short-term. Some people deserve to be bullied is another common myth. No one ever deserves it. We all have differences, and we need to respect each other's differences. There's a common myth that bullies are only boys, but that's not certainly true. Sometimes we do have girls that are bullies as well.
Sure.
People who complain about bullies are babies. People who complain about bullies are only standing up for their right to be protected. And kids need to understand that they're not tattling, that they're standing up for their own rights to be safe and protected in school. Bullying is a normal part of growing up. Some kids feel like being pushed around, threatened, harassed, abused, that's normal. And that's not normal. They need to understand that they need to be safe in school, and they need to talk to their administrators and teachers when they're being picked on. Bullies will go away if you ignore them. Some bullies might go away if they're ignored, but most of the time they are looking for a reaction out of you. So until they get that reaction, they'll keep picking until they get it. All bullies have low self-esteem. That's why they pick on other people. Some bullies actually have high self-esteem. They feel good about themselves, and picking on other people makes them feel better. Most of the time, bullying isn't about high or low self-esteem. It's about that person having power over another individual. It's tattling to tell an adult when you're bullied. That's also false. It's smart to tell an adult who can help you do something about bullying. It's also smart to tell an adult if you see someone else being bullied in the hallways or unstructured situations of the building.
So many kids believe that it's tattling, but it's not. We've got to change that perception.
Absolutely. And the video really goes into detail about that, about bystanders and not standing by, but actually reporting to someone in your building. A couple more. The best way to deal with a bully is by fighting or trying to get even. By trying to get even, you only cause more problems because the bully may come back to you and continue to want to fight. So that's certainly not the answer. To bully a bully is not the answer. People who are bullied might hurt for a while, but they'll get over it. I think we all can remember a time when we were a kid or in high school that we were personally bullied, and to be able to remember that certainly is something that was damaging to us, to remember it over such a long period of time. So we don't forget those things.
Well, I understand the Connect with Kids Network has made a video about school bullying, which we're going to see. Dr. Pak, I was wondering if you would please give us an introduction to the video we're about to view.
Sure. This video really is an excellent video. It speaks for itself. It shows that what a lot of districts are doing to raise awareness about bullying in their buildings. It emphasizes taking a school-wide approach where an entire community in a building are respectful. The video emphasizes a culture where kids can feel comfortable and welcome and safe. It emphasizes that being an innocent bystander and not doing anything about it is wrong. The way we can make change is by reporting and not standing by when we see other kids being bullied.
Very good. Well, let's take a look at Connect with Kids Network's production of Silent Witness.
Hey there. Come on, aren't you gonna say anything?
At a middle school in La Crosse, Wisconsin, they call it social improvisation.
When she's talking to you, you should listen.
The performance is intended to teach the students about bullying.
Get away, we don't like you!
These kids are actors. But Bill Ehrenreich was a victim of bullying in real life.
I woke up at 4 in the morning and I was crying. And I didn't really care if I lived or died. I was so upset.
On stage, sometimes the victims turn into bullies. And that's exactly what happened to Kyle Finn. He was teased and harassed in middle school, and then he became a bully.
I did it, and then all the while it would be going through my head that, you know, this is what people did to you. And it felt horrible.
Didn't you guys see that?
In this scene, those who witness bullying don't do anything to stop it. They don't tell anyone.
They're cowards. They're complete cowards.
Stanzi Sanders should know. Her friends watched as she was bullied day after day in elementary school, and they did nothing to help her.
I was lonely. I felt lonely.
The U.S. Department of Justice says 30% of teenagers, almost a third, are either bullies or the victim of a bully. But even more kids, 88% of teens, are bystanders. And experts say too many of them do nothing to stop the bullying right in front of them.
Bystanders, you know, if you look at a class of 26 kids, you're going to have a couple of bullies and a couple of victims. So what's everybody else doing? Well, they're standing around watching it go on. They know what's happening, they're not doing anything. Why not? Because they're afraid of being the next victim.
They just look at the victim and say, oh, that could be me if I tell.
They don't say anything because they don't want their friends to get in trouble and then blame them.
I'm always like, just mind your own business. That's how I am.
It's almost like excitement. Everyone like rushes over, like, oh, who's hitting who? What's going on?
I mean, a lot of times I'll sit back and I'll be like, wow, you know, I wish that I could stand up for this person, but it's always easier to just not.
Standing by instead of standing up. Each is a silent witness, and together they have the power to be the tipping point to change the climate of bullying in American schools.
We can tip it by getting that large group of students who aren't involved in any way to become involved and basically say, we're mad as hell and we're not going to take this anymore and we're going to intervene.
Tell someone.
In the next half hour, ambitious programs to stop bullying at schools in La Crosse, Wisconsin, St. Louis, and Stafford County just outside of Washington, D.C. Also, advice for parents who are frustrated when schools fail to keep kids safe from bullying.
You can surround kids with love. And you can try to prepare your kids for tough things in life, but you can't protect them from that.
Silent Witness will return in a moment.
People who appear to be very, very good people, they can actually be extremely cruel people.
He was one of those cruel people, but long before he became a bully, Kyle was a victim. For years, pushed, shoved, teased, and harassed in middle school.
They would just say that I was gay, that I was stupid, that I was retarded, that I was a freak, just pretty much anything that they could possibly think of to drive me crazy and make my life miserable. I was kind of picked out as the weird kid who didn't know what was going on, so that was kind of when the bullying started. Like, I didn't dress the right way, and I didn't kind of know all the cool slang and stuff like that. You know, just random cutting comments like, hey, nice shirt. Did you mug a clown for that?
When you've been a victim of that, you may always be aware of the pain.
She says you could tell how low her son felt just by looking at him, at his mannerisms, his posture.
If you've seen somebody who's really downtrodden and you see how they hold themselves, how they carry themselves, it becomes apparent to you without even speaking to a person where they are emotionally. And I think that was very much his body language, is I'm hurting.
They're kids whose self-esteem may be a little shaky. They may have something that sets them apart, or they may not. But for some reason, the bullies have sensed maybe a little fear in them.
Shoulders tucked over, head hanging low, and his body language was very much victim or beaten, kind of.
I'm a little odd sometimes.
Experts say bullies attack kids who are odd or different in some way. They may be overweight or gay or smart or poor, or they may not wear the right clothes.
And so they're an easy mark, and bullies sense that and they use that.
We don't do anything wrong, per se. It's just something that we're different, and that can be very annoying, especially in just the high-stress environment that really any middle or high school is going to provide. Where would they take their stress out on?
The lowest point came in 7th grade, when Kyle was hospitalized twice for severe depression.
It was probably the worst year of my life.
The worst part for Kyle's mother was sending him back to school each day, where he would be bullied, and she was powerless to stop it.
You as his parent, the one that is charged with protecting them, that you're sending them back in and saying to them, be strong, don't let it get you down. You can overcome, and we'll win this situation, knowing that those are kind of shallow words.
I would feel just very hurt and betrayed, honestly, because a lot of my friends would just, or so-called friends, would just kind of sit there and watch as people would pick on me and bully me.
His friends were silent.
You know, it was just that betrayal.
What can bystanders do? Some answers when Silent Witness returns.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here today to talk about bullying.
Math class in Stafford County, Virginia.
What is bullying?
But today, instead of math, the class is talking about bullying.
People start to gang up on you to the point where you've got everybody saying bad things about you, and there's no way to stop it, really.
I was like a really rude little kid. Like,
I used to tell everyone that they were ugly and push everyone around.
He made fun of me because my dad died, because I didn't have a dad, and it just hurt me really bad.
Before long, teachers focused the discussion on bystanders, those who witness bullying.
What is the difference between tattling and reporting?
It is a crucial question because here they believe the silent majority has the power, the numbers, to stop the bullies.
The bystanders are the biggest piece. If they set the climate and say, we're not going to tolerate this, we don't like this, and they have a very positive attitude about helping out the victims, you can create a change in the climate. They can help.
But experts say some schools encourage bystanders to stop bullying, and some schools don't. 5 years ago, Stanzi Sanders attended a private school. She had to face the bullies every day, all by herself.
Yes, definitely. I wish someone would have done something.
It started in 2nd grade after Stanzi was sick with a cold and cough.
And all of a sudden they all started picking on me, saying I had some sort of, quote, disease, unquote.
She'd had a lingering cold for a long time, so she kept clearing her throat and having, making little coughing noises.
Very quickly, pretty much the whole grade was doing it. Just teasing me, bullying me.
I think, the teachers should have just told the other kids, there's nothing wrong with her, it's not catching, forget about it.
Instead, Stanzi was picked on, isolated, and those who watched remained silent.
They really didn't do anything. Not even the people I considered friends back then. They didn't go stand up for me.
Standing up for the victim. That's what they teach at Stafford County Schools. And when Stanzi transferred here 2 years ago, finally, the bullying ended.
It made a very big difference for the better. I had a fresh start. Actually, now some people are trying to get me to believe I'm one of the popular kids now, which has never happened before in my life.
It happened because here the emphasis is not on what the victim should do, but instead on what everyone else can do to help.
I don't think we should put the onus just on the victim. I mean, it's wrong to say that the victim has to have courage. It's also the bystander has to have courage. And oftentimes, I would say, is those who turn away are people who don't have courage.
In this school district, courage is now part of the curriculum. At least once a semester, in every academic class, they talk about bullying and the power of those who witness bullying.
You gotta be a man and just say that, it's not cool anymore.
I love the quote that says, be the agent of change you want to see in the world. Because if you want something to change, you have to start with changing it yourself.
Just one person doing such a simple act can mean a huge world difference to the person being bullied.
But years ago in elementary school, no one was willing to make that difference for Stanzi. And today, she struggles with the scars the bullies left behind.
It's made me very withdrawn, antisocial, and that's not how I want to appear to the world. I want to appear as a kind person. Kind, open, friendly, and this all just changed that.
Silent Witness will be right back.
No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't make the situation better for him.
I was just pretty much like a walking shell. I really felt like I'd had nothing on the inside, just felt like a walking shell.
You feel like you're failing your kid.
But she did not fail. In fact, in the end, she helped change the culture of bullying throughout all the public schools in the district. It started with name-calling in the 4th grade.
Faggot, gay, stupid, idiot, fat. Faggot and gay were the ones they really hit on the most.
Back then, sometimes he would cry when he was teased, and that made it worse.
They knew that by making fun of me and calling me names that it would upset me, and after they do it for so long, it would make me cry and make me upset. And they wanted to make me upset so it'd make them feel good.
He was bullied throughout the elementary school years, and it continued into middle school. Bill's mom talked with his teachers, his school counselors, even the principal, but nothing changed.
I believed in the system. I believe that, all of these people, they're teachers. They love children. Why else would you want to be a teacher? Why else would you want to be with these kids?
But then Star Ehrenreich's life changed in just one night. The night Bill told her he was considering suicide.
I woke up at 4 in the morning and I was crying. And I didn't really care if I lived or died. I was so upset. And it was so bad that, like I said, I just wanted to kill myself.
I just sat with him. I didn't know what else to do with him. And he did look at me and say he didn't care if he was alive. And that was hard for me, because I'm sitting here looking at a kid that is my whole life. And I'm thinking, you shouldn't be feeling like life's not worth living.
That night, 3 years ago, Star says she decided she could no longer just listen and grieve. She had to act.
This is my child. This isn't my home. This isn't my car, or something that can be replaced. This is my child. I'm not the mom that's going to shut up and walk away any longer because it's out of control.
She pulled Bill out of Fox High School and went to the superintendent of the district, demanding changes before she would bring her son back.
And I flat out told him it will take anti-bullying programs being put into this school district, not just in a building, the whole district. And it will take you training your staff to not let it happen. When you see it, address it.
Sometimes the effort to change a school system begins with the hard work and inspiration of one parent.
This is not about waving a magic wand. It's not about doing one thing. It's really about, I think, working very hard and very diligently as a parent with the school board, to get them to understand that basically what the issue is all about and why they need to take action.
First, we wanted to become a telling school.
The Fox School District took several key steps to fight bullying. First, they started at the top. Administrators acknowledged bullying was a problem. Then they made preventing it a priority. That meant training for teachers, anti-bullying groups for students, and boxes like this one where students can report bullying anonymously.
We wanted to change the climate of the school, and I think that's what this does.
I want to make a difference.
And they did something else. Teachers at Fox produced this video about their own bullying behaviors in the classroom.
The one thing they hate to hear is shut up. Shut your mouth or shut up. And so often, that's what wants to come out of our mouths. Shut up.
All of these changes convinced Star Ehrenreich to send Bill back to Fox High School. He is no longer bullied. In fact, he has joined the school's anti-bullying student group.
The fact that they've done it, I think, has helped him so much.
It's really important to me to help this as much as I can and try to help people so they don't have to go through what I did.
It's helped me because I don't feel like he's in a bad environment. I don't feel like I have to worry about him every day.
Silent Witness will return in a moment.
What we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through all 4 skits.
Longfellow Middle School in La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Freeze!
Here they use a theatrical technique to teach the students about bullying.
We've done this a billion times. Geek, freak, when you say that, remember the step-on lines, you say stop it.
What this lesson is really about is courage. The kids are using theater to dramatize why it is so important to report bullying.
I can't believe what I just saw, but I'm afraid if I tell on them, then they'll pick on me. So I'll pretend I didn't see anything.
This is social theater. In other words, the students pick skits that are important to them, and they portray it in a way that elicits conversation with the audience, thus having a conversation and hopefully teaching them something.
If you see something, tell someone.
The skits will be performed for every student in the school. And after each performance, audience members ask questions of the actors, who answer in character.
What did they do that was so different that you had to pick on them and not someone else?
I don't know, we're cool. They're, like, not.
What makes you so cool and Ryan and Kristen not?
I get all the designer clothes and they, like, get theirs at, like, Walmart.
So it's about clothes that makes you cool?
Yeah.
When you talk to the audience, they see, oh, this is not Krista, or this is not John. This is somebody portraying that, so we can ask them the really tough questions.
Why didn't you go secretly tell a teacher? I was afraid they were going to pick on me, but in the end, I didn't think it was worth it.
It kind of morphs into the real conversation about what are we doing in our school and what do we do to make a difference. Think of the numbers that you have. How many bystanders do you think there are? You think there are more bystanders than there are bullies? Yes. So that makes you very powerful. These children are learning about the power they have to stop bullying and learning how telling not only protects victims, it can protect them too from one day becoming victims themselves.
It hurts, like you feel like you're alone and that like no one's there to help you.
This is not about a program as much as it's about a change in philosophy, a change in ideas, a change in how we deal with each other and what we view as right and wrong behavior.
In La Crosse, in St. Louis, in Stafford County, students are getting the message.
If you have a buddy that's being hurt, you should tell it's pretty obvious, you gotta tell someone.
It's like giving me a whole new point of view.
And I think a lot of kids who are getting bullied here will go out and tell someone.
Because there's not one person in this country that's not involved in this. You're either the bully, the victim, or the bystander.
Those affected most deeply, of course, are the victims, like Bill Ehrenreich, who considered suicide, Stanzi Sanders, alienated in elementary school, and Kyle Finn, hospitalized for depression. He had to transfer to a new school to get the bullying to stop.
And all of a sudden, school was not sort of a place where there was like a battlefield. All of a sudden, school could be school.
According to a study from the National Crime Prevention Council, 60% of teenagers witness bullying at school at least once a day. They may be the most powerful weapon of all.
We almost have to take it upon ourselves to take that risk and to help the people who truly need it.
You just need to step up, have courage. Maybe not a lot, just a little bit. Courage, that's what we need to have.
I know it's a big social risk, but you have to step in and do what's right. Just to stand there and do nothing, that's just not right.
To stop bullying, witnesses, both kids and adults, can no longer remain silent. We'd like to know what you think about this program and invite you to visit us at connectwithkids.com. Talk to other parents, learn from each other, and give us your feedback at connectwithkids.com.
Wow, that was powerful stuff. The message was loud and clear. There's a silent majority of students out there who can literally stop school bullying from happening. But how do we motivate innocent bystanders to do the right thing?
I think it comes down to educating the kids and creating a raised awareness, which is what we're doing in this video, and trying to get our teachers to be talking with kids in the classroom and in unstructured situations of the building, being aware, being in the hallways, being visible. We need to encourage kids, as we said earlier, that it's not tattling, but you may actually save a student a lot of pain by reporting the issue to your building principal or to your teacher. I think if we take an active role, if as administrators and teachers we're approachable to kids, that they know that there are arms and ears in the classroom, in the hallway.
Please join us again next week for another look at the Armstrong School District and visit our website for updated news and information about the district. Have a great week.